Bayern Munich, Luis Díaz, a better love story than me and a Latina. What is going on with the transfer saga at Bayern Munich? We're clearly showing a lot of interest in Luis Díaz. I'd say he's our #1 target right now, and it is insane. Liverpool has rejected the move. What is going on with the move today? Bayern Buddies, the best Bayern duo since robbery, most underrated duo on the internet. Today, we're going to be diving deep into the Luis Díaz Bayern Munich transfer saga. Can we afford his transfer fee? Can we afford his wages? Does it fit within our wage structure? Is the play style right for Bayern Munich? Let's get all into it and more with Bayern Buddies. Lock that in.
As of July 12, 2025, it is definitely confirmed that Bayern Munich are trying to offer a contract. I don't know what to think about this, but this is currently what the update is. Diaz currently is willing to leave Liverpool if the right offer does come from Bayern Munich to Liverpool. Of course, a transfer fee has to be there, but Luis Díaz, he's pretty much already agreed to personal terms and whatnot. He would love to join Bayern Munich. Apparently, that's what reports say, of course. You can obviously believe the reports, but Luis Díaz apparently wants to join Bayern Munich, essentially, if Liverpool can find a transfer fee for him. At this given moment in time, I believe Christian Falk did say that Bayern Munich did offer 52 million euros for Luis Díaz, and I'm thinking that's gotten rejected already, something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the first news that we have on file right now with Bayern Munich and with Luis Díaz. Maybe by the time this video comes out, there will be more information, but this is currently what we have right now.
As Pat said, the personal terms were agreed upon between Luis Díaz and Bayern Munich, but we heard the same with Wirtz as well, and look how that went, so clearly doesn't mean anything. And Liverpool have rejected us and are pretty stubborn on not having Luis Díaz come to us unless they get the exact fee they want, which is apparently in the 70 to 80 million range, which is clearly nowhere near our 52 million range. And I think Bayern Munich are willing to meet in the middle around 60 million. So that's currently the updates we have about pricing and realistically if we're going to get him or not. And of course, I mean, we all know there's competition from Barcelona in the background. I'm sure there's some other clubs that we haven't heard about, but Barcelona are definitely knocking on Luis Díaz's door. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a similar situation in Nico Williams, where Luis Díaz, of course, being Colombian, would much prefer to play in Spain than in Germany. I mean, that goes without a doubt. Just look how James left us for dead. I mean, that's really the only Colombian player. I was looking into it. The only Colombian player to really play for Bayern Munich, other than a player from the 90s, was James Rodriguez. And I mean, just played great for us. It was amazing football. Loved him. Wish we could have kept him. But just like, you know, Colombians, I mean, I guess they don't really like to be in the cold and the culture of Germany. So yeah, I mean, do we want him at Bayern Munich? Let's look back at his time at Liverpool and how he's been performing so far.
So Luis Díaz has joined Liverpool from Porto around January 2022. So it's roughly around like 3 years he's been at Liverpool. So it's been a hefty time. He's won a couple of trophies with Liverpool, won the Premier League, went into a Champions League final, EFL Cup, all those kind of great stuff essentially. So yeah, it's been doing well for Liverpool that even the Liverpool have Lucho chants for him. Luis Díaz! And, you know, I do think that's very wholesome in my opinion, for sure. Obviously, Liverpool fans, they do kind of rate him as well. For this season, it seems like he had 13 goals and 5 assists for Liverpool in this Premier League season. Not too bad. This was one of his best seasons at Liverpool. The rest was kind of just mid numbers. I believe like the last couple seasons, he's had like 4 goals, 4 assists, which isn't the greatest, but it seems like he has been showing improvement, which is absolutely fantastic. I can see why Bayern Munich are trying to get into him, especially since, you know, he'll be playing in a weaker league, of course, and kind of in a better team in that league, if we're going to be completely honest with you. So yeah, I do think he has been performing pretty decently for Liverpool, and I'm kind of a little bit surprised that Liverpool would be willing to kind of let him go. Or maybe it's Luis Díaz that wants to go.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. We're honestly surprised that they're even offering to let him go. I mean, I guess it makes sense. 70 to 80 million. They value that maybe they could get another left winger, because I mean, right now they only have Cody Gakpo, which we were looking at as well, and then of course Diego Jota, which rest in peace. Of course, he's not going to be playing with Liverpool, so rest in peace. So that's another player. Just their depth on that left side isn't looking amazing. So I'm honestly surprised. I mean, sure, Wirtz could go out there if they really wanted to. I mean, not the most ideal idea in the world, but I mean, if they needed to, I'm sure he could get the job done out there. But let's get back into the Bayern Munich side. How will he look with Bayern Munich?
Well, Luis Díaz's playstyle. He's a South American. He's a Colombian left winger. Typically, South American players are really explosive and they're right straight to the point, which is basically what Bayern Munich essentially needs, if we're going to be completely honest here. We could create way more chances on the left for sure than we have these past couple of years and whatnot. I think this would be a pretty decent signing for Bayern Munich. But just to kind of go in detail about Luis Díaz, I do feel like we need a little bit of South American flair in our squad, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. You know, a Colombian could be decent for sure. We obviously saw James Rodriguez, and I absolutely loved James Rodriguez from the bottom of my heart. But then again, the question does arise, would he be another Nico Williams? Does he really want to live in a country where it's really cold in the winter time? I don't know. But I do think Luis Díaz would actually fit Bayern Munich's system, would actually fit Vincent Kompany's system. I do think that this could be a decent signing, but I do wish he was just a bit younger. Let's see what Joey thinks.
I mean, let's take this into consideration. All the other transfer targets that we have, this is definitely looks like a plan B or C because we have so many younger wingers that could even play cam and left wing, like Xavi Simons, like Leao. I mean, I know Leao can't play midfield, but you know, Eze, who not? We have more dynamic players, and we should only be going for Luis Díaz if those don't work out. I mean, we definitely want to build around Elise, Musiala, Pavlovic. We want to build around that young core, and just buying a winger that's already 28, 29, close to 30, pushing 30, unk status. Basically, we don't really need that right now, especially with Harry Kane probably leaving in the next couple of years. We want to build a younger squad. So I'm not really a big fan of this move, especially for the price range and especially for the stats he put up at Liverpool. I mean, this season he had a good season, whatnot, but previous to that, I mean, it seems like his stats just aren't there at that point. Might as well just keep Leroy Sané on left wing at the stats I'm looking at, to be honest with you, or Coman. So I mean, yeah, I know numbers aren't everything, but Luis Díaz, I mean, I'm not saying Sané or Coman are better than him. I would definitely take Diaz over them, but I'm really not a big fan. I really think we need to push for better wingers. I think really for me, Xavi Simons is that #1 target just because of Musiala's injury especially, and I don't really want to see Luis Díaz at Bayern. I think we could do a lot better. According to reports and what we just found out, that he only is making about 2.6, let's say 3 million a year at Liverpool. Back when he joined from Porto, he signed a 6-year, $16 million contract, which is pretty crazy. I mean, he would definitely earn more at Bayern. I would say closer to 5, even maybe 10 million, just looking at the players that we have. I mean, it's public knowledge how much our players getting made about, so I mean, he's definitely going to want more, which is part of fixing the wage structure. But yeah, I mean, in terms of that, it's an amazing signing. The value of that is insane. 3 million a year right now compared to our other wingers like Gnabry making 15 million a year. It's just insane. So yeah, definitely lock that in. If we're talking just in terms of wages, yeah, it's a good signing. But just with that transfer fee of 70, 80 million, I don't like it.
Oh yeah, I would definitely agree. If the transfer fee was lower, the original cost was 52 million, okay, then you know what? I wouldn't mind that. But honestly, I would rate him like in the 40s to 55 million kind of price range. If we were to lock him up at that range, honestly, I would not be too opposed to that. Maybe get Xavi Simons. I don't know. But like, this isn't career mode at the end of the day, and I think a lot of people do got to realize that it's not career mode, and we still need to follow the financial play rules. But yeah, I think if that was the case, then I think Luis Díaz would be a pretty good signing for Bayern Munich. You know, like I said, he was explosive. You know, he's showing improvement a lot, and I think he would actually cook in the Bundesliga and whatnot, just like how James did. Obviously, granted, they're two different types of players, but yeah, even in the international stage, he was cooking for Colombia. Copa America, they made it to the final last year, so I would say he's Colombia's best player right now. I mean, who else could I really think besides Richard Rios? I would say Luis Díaz for sure is the best player. But yeah, you know, as a Colombian star, maybe get that Colombian PR, and I think we could be cooking. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see what Bayern Munich cook up here.
So yeah, that's our quick dive into Luis Díaz. I mean, the transfer saga, it's still going on. Still a lot of questions to be answered for the transfer saga. I mean, there's so many players. Xavi Simons just came up in the news again. Rodrigo just came out again for much higher prices, but you know, that's another day for another video. Let us know if you guys want to hear our opinions about those two players as well. But right now, it looks like Luis Díaz is Bayern Munich's main focus, and I don't think that's going to change, hopefully, anytime soon. So yeah, let us know what you guys think about Luis Díaz to Bayern in the comments below. Thank you again for 5,000 subscribers. Pretty sick. Road to 10K starts already. On it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. Bayern Buddies out.